Hello everybody, my name is Danny, and um, today I'm going to be doing a video blog, which is a video log, of course. Some people call it vlogs, vlogs, whatever. Basically speaking, just random thoughts that I have, things that are going on in my life, things that I find interesting lately, that type of thing. My location, I'm currently located in Eastern Canada. Yeah, so I just want to make sure that I time this so that I don't go over. Okay, so today I have a variety of topics that I'm going to go over. I just want to mention about the lighting. Last time I had kind of a very bright light, and when I was looking at it, it seemed a little too bright. I was just a little concerned that people would get turned off by it because if it was just too much light into their eyes. So I changed the lighting this time. So hopefully this is going to be a little better. It's just experimentation, right? You don't want to get like too little lighting, but not too much. So, okay. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was I have this here, and it's labeled as dealcoholized lager beer. And so here it says on the labeling that the labeling says it contains less than 0.5% alcohol per volume. It contains less than 0.5% alcohol per volume, right? And I bought it at my local grocery store, which would be President's Choice, or here it's actually a Dominion, right? So I just want to show you guys a little bit, and actually this one here, the brand name is called Blonde Brew. And so I just want to give you guys a little bit of again, the lighting is not that great, but yeah. So this is what I might do actually, just to show you guys a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, jeez. There goes my lighting. So yeah, so I just wanted to do a little bit of a taste test. I wanted to do a little bit of taste test here because I've never tried this type of beverage ever. I've never, I've obviously tasted just normal beer before or whatever, but I've never actually tasted this type of beverage. So I got curious about it, and now I have it. It's nice and cold, and I'm just going to do a little bit of a taste test and give my random thoughts about it. Okay? So let's give this a go. Let's see what this tastes like. Wow. So my first impressions is that it basically tastes exactly like beer. It tastes exactly like normal beer. Like not only does it taste exactly like beer, normal beer, but it's got the same sort of texture to it too, right? The same feel of it. Let me try it again. Yep, that's that same feel. You know, it's kind of like that stingy sort of feeling that you get on your tongue when you drink beer. That exact same texture. Wow, very interesting, right? But you have to remember that that it says that it contains less, like I said, it contains less than 0.5% alcohol per volume. So it does contain alcohol. It's just less than 0.5%, right? So normal beer is maybe, if I can't remember, maybe about 3% maybe. So yeah, very interesting, right? And so I was kind of expecting it to be more of a watered down, perhaps sugary type thing, kind of like a Corona, right? So when you think of Corona, it's like it's a very popular drink. People kind of like to think of themselves as drinking beer, but it's a completely different sort of beverage, right? It's almost, to me, a Corona is almost kind of like a cooler, right? It's a very sugary sort of taste to it, and you can definitely drink a lot of those because it's got a very kind of like sugary feeling to it. Whereas a beer sort of just the texture of it, or it sort of hits you more directly. So, anyways, yeah. So I guess maybe if you're sort of it also says here that this can is 355 milliliters, and it's 50 calories per can, which is probably a lot less calories per can than, let's say, a normal beer. So so for those who want to take in less calories, less alcohol for whatever reasons, I do recommend this. This is um, to me, even though it's my first time drinking it, I really recommend it as an alternative to like normal beer. Okay, I just found that interesting. I got curious about it. The next thing I wanted to talk about is soccer. Um, as you know, I play soccer, and I've always played soccer. Lately, I've been organizing. I've been organizing. Pickup soccer games, and I've been doing that for a while now. And whenever in the past, I used to just write down my comments on social media like Facebook or whatever. Lately, when I do comment about the soccer, I put it on my YouTube channel, which is this. So, and I haven't really talked about it on my YouTube channel in a while. But today we had a pickup soccer game, and oh yeah, okay. I forgot to put the date. So today is Sunday, September 9, 2018. It's 9:52 p.m. So today we played the pickup soccer game um, at 2 p.m. and so I was a little disappointed with the turnout. Um, it's basically only the first week back at university, so I thought a lot of people would be um, back at university, back at school, and it's just the first week, so people aren't too busy with their schoolwork and stuff. And the weather is still nice. It's very, like today, it was just basically like a summer day, right? It got warmer and warmer and sunnier and sunnier. And so I was a little disappointed that the turnout wasn't as much as I had hoped. And although we did have enough players for a pretty good game, just a smaller game, and so just a few thoughts about the game. Yeah, so as those of you know, we usually divide it into a yellow team, and then the other team is kind of like a multicolored shirt team. So at the end, the multicolored shirt team won. I think it was, yeah, they won the game. And yeah, it's at the beginning of the game, there were a lot of goals, and then it sort of flattened out where there were no goals, and then all of a sudden, towards the end, those final goals popped in quite quickly. And so pretty happy, lots of running, no injuries, pretty friendly and stuff. And good way for me at the very least to get some exercise and work off some steam and work off some stress and enjoy. I just love being outdoors. I'm an outdoors type of person, so I just like the breathing the fresh air. I don't really like I don't really like indoor soccer that much. I do play it because we have no choice because of the wintry, snowy weather. And so, yeah, I like to extend the outdoor games. We usually can extend it almost, I would say, up till um, October, like almost like the middle, like towards the middle of October or the end of October. Um, and again, I really prefer outdoor games for many reasons, but it's really up to you guys, right? Like if you guys keep showing up, then I'll keep scheduling the outdoor games. If you guys just aren't showing up for the outdoor games, then I won't. I'm not going to schedule them anymore, right? So yeah, I just also wanted to say that we had a lot of great outdoor games with my group all summer, and so thanks a lot for those who showed up. For those who don't, well, I don't have much to say about them, right? But hopefully, for those who showed up all summer, you're in better shape and you're better people that way. So I also just wanted to this beer, if you want to call it, let's just call it that, is pretty good actually. And so the next thing that I wanted to talk about was just a few YouTube channels that I've been following. A few of my favorite YouTube channels, and I just kind of want to give a little shout out to some of them because a lot of their content is very creative, it's very entertaining, and it's very daring, right? Especially the ones that I'm going to be talking about, because they kind of put themselves on the line, if you will, for a lot of the videos that they do. Although they put themselves on the line, but they're well compensated with, right? If you look at the number of views and the huge number of subscribers that they have, right? So, um, the first, the first of these YouTube channels of that I wanted to talk about is NELK. NELK. Okay. So I'm just going to bring up their channel a little bit just to remind me a little bit. Yeah, so they're like a they're one of my NELK is one of my favorite YouTube channels. Basically, they mostly do kind of like prank videos and plus other stuff. But they have now, I'm looking at it, over 2 million subscribers, right? Which is huge. And they're Canadian, like myself. But the thing about NELK, which makes them a little different and better than other YouTubers, is the way that they connect with their fans, right? Like a lot of, or most YouTubers don't really do like the way they do, where they go out and they interact and they socialize and they party and they connect with their fans like they do. Because it's very kind of impersonal if you think of it. You may watch someone's YouTube videos, but if they never sort of come out of that sort of computerized shell, you sort of like wonder, like, am I just following a robot, right? Is it nothing more than that? Like, I'm watching this person's videos, but do they really care about me, right? So I'm just going to briefly talk about, I'm just going to go through these channels and just briefly talk a little bit about like just some of the recent stuff. So let's see here. Yeah, so they had like a huge meetup in Toronto a few weeks ago, and I guess now they're going all across Ontario and they're partying with fans and stuff. And yeah, so this I'll just pick this one here to talk about. Yeah, the fake Dick Sporting Goods employee prank that was 2 weeks ago. I just found that was really great, right? Like just a few of my comments were kind of like just joking around with customers, and ultimately the owner of that franchise store, and and then after sort of, you know, Kyle, just talking to the owner of the store, he kind of like said at some point, like, I'm interested in getting hired at the store. And then, so the owner starts going, oh, well, like, so Kyle said that he was working at another franchise, which was just local, just not too far from that store. And then he said that he got fired or something like that. And so he's like, how long did you work there and stuff? And so at that point, you know, once he told him that he'd get fired, I think that was sort of the end of it. But he's kept talking to Kyle, and but you could tell that his patience was just really gone. But Kyle just kept pushing it and pushing it, and then towards the end, he just kicked him out of the store. So it was funny, but brave on him to keep pushing it to the point where he got kicked out of the store, right? But yeah, so that's what I talk about, like putting yourself on the line like that. So NELK is great. I love their videos. So the next one that I just felt like talking about was okay. Yeah, another one of my favorite, besides NELK, another one of my favorite YouTube channels is, sorry about the pronunciation if I get it wrong, VitalyzdTV. Yeah, so, I mean, so I'm looking at like one of his latest videos, um, the one where um, it's titled "I Went to Jail, Not Clickbait." So that one was pretty interesting. Where I guess it seems like he was saying that he streaked the World Series last year, so he had to pay dues or whatever. And so part of all that mess is he had to actually go to jail, and he actually gave us proof as to like showing him go into the jail and stuff, and it was it was pretty weird to see him like have to go to jail and stuff for all of that, but he survived it, and I don't know, like I haven't watched all of his videos, but it seemed like for the other ones where he did end up having to go to court, he ended up always never having to end up going to jail. But for this one, even though he did end up going, he was still pretty positive about it. And maybe I'll talk about one other one. Let me see here.
Bro, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, and this other one that I did a few weeks ago, which was the kidnapping prank gone wrong, arrest at gunpoint, where he was pretending to kidnap a little person, right? I think that's the word nowadays that we're supposed to use, a little person. We don't use the word midget anymore, and so he was getting him to like be stuck inside of a suitcase, and pretending to stick the suitcase in his trunk and stuff. And then it seems like when I was watching the video that there was a guy with a woman, and the guy was on a cell phone. It looked like he was calling the police. And if I remember right, at some point he must have called 911, and then they had helicopters all over. And then eventually he was arrested at gunpoint, right? But to think that you have like people pointing loaded guns at you like that, that's pretty scary, right? But yeah, a lot of his videos are very funny, but you know, he ends up sort of getting in trouble like that. But you know, I like to I think people appreciate his braveness, and the way that he puts himself again on the line like that to put out these types of videos, and push it that much far, right? So let me see, another one that I want to talk about was let me see what else I got here. Okay, so another one of my favorite channels is TopNotch Idiots. TopNotch Idiots. And I just want to talk a little bit about um, one of their latest one. Um, yeah, so one that they just put out like 6 days ago. It's titled "Drug Cartel Drive-By Prank in the Hood Gone Wrong," where they're basically like driving around in the hood with their car and with a fake AK-47 with loudspeakers that pretend it's a sound of the AK-47 firing. And you see people like just riding like crazy and stuff and panicking. You know, they don't know it's a prank, but they're not going to take the chance either, right? Because that's the United States and people do that type of stuff. Yeah, the car that they use is pretty cool. Like those back the lights on the back. Um, Headlights would be the lights in the front, so the back lights would be um, maybe just called backlights. I can't remember, but their backlights are pretty good, cool on that. Eventually, they got arrested, pulled over by the police, and it looked like they were like a half dozen cop cruisers there, and it seemed like they only got a fine and stuff like that, right? But I'm kind of surprised that they did another one, because I remember the one before where it was basically the same thing, and then they got pulled over by the police and stuff, and maybe it was by gunpoint, so that probably would have scared them. But they had the courage, or the courage to do another one, knowing that they were likely to get pulled over by the police again and stuff like that. And another funny one was the Gold Digger Prank Part 2, and that was 3 weeks ago. I found that one just really funny because in the beginning they put out I think he had a Corvette, and it was a nice Corvette, and then it was funny how the girl just noticed a nice Corvette, and she was taking selfies with it and stuff, and then she's like, oh well, when the guy asked her if she wanted to go in and to somewhere with the Corvette, in the beginning she was playing hard to get or something, but then after she's like, she came back and she's like, okay, let's go. And then another guy comes over with a nicer car, and then in the beginning she's like, oh well, I want to go to the other one, which was like the nicer car. But then after she decided to go back to the Corvette, but it's hard to know why she went back to the Corvette. I think maybe it's because like the first guy was I think the first guy was more talkative, and the second guy didn't really talk to her that much, so she might have felt a little like less safe, right? Because they're strangers. But it's kind of hard to say, why she switched. But it was still funny, right? The way some women react when it comes to social experiments such as nice cars and stuff. And I think the last one that I just wanted to talk about yeah, so So one of my other favorite YouTube channels, they're called RebelTV, right? And their pranks are much more daring and a little more aggressive, right? Where typically when you see them do a prank, you almost the end reaction is always the person being pranked on chasing after that person, right? So none of the videos show them ever getting caught, but I would be concerned because if they ever did get caught, it would almost seem as though, you know, they'd sort of beat them up, right? Um, so I just wanted to just talk about one of them that I always find pretty funny is the here, if I'm looking at one of them, this one here, um, cutting people's headphones prank part 3 1 month ago. So if I
We're actually going
if
out
I
and taking some air dust.
if I remember that one right, because I did watch it before. So like what they do is they're just like students or whatever that they see, and they're on their headphones, and they go up and they actually take it appears as a pair of scissors, and they just basically cut their headphones, right, like that. And again, once they find out about it, they go and run after them and stuff. So those are always funny. It seems like after the prank's over, they reveal it to them and they compensate them, whether with new headphones or whatever, or money. And one last one that I just wanted to talk about that I find kind of funny. The last one that they posted was yeah, they titled it "Sneaking into People's Cars Prank." Sneaking into people's cars prank, and that was just 5 days ago. So this one was very different, right? Where it seems like this one here, if I remember it right. So this car with the driver, he goes into pump his gas, he goes to pay for it or whatever. And once he's like paying for it, the one of the Rebel TV guys sneaks into the back seat, right? And so the driver takes off, like never noticed the guy in the back seat, and they keep driving and driving for a very long time, and the other Rebel TVs in the car following them with the camera, and you can see like the guy in the back seat with his video. He's recording himself, and you can tell, you can see that he's sweating and that it's hot and stuff. And it's hard to know like what was going to happen like after that, right? Like once the guy found out, they were talking about that too, right? You have to remember that this is the U.S., right, where people are used to carrying guns just on their belts, right? Like it's kind of like there are some states where if you see where it's a law where if you see a stranger for whatever reason in your home, you're allowed to like just shoot and kill them, right? The castle law or whatever it's called. It's almost kind of the same thing, right? If some people will see like a stranger in their car in their back seat, a lot of them will think it's some sort of threat as to, you know, are they going to rob them or carjack them or whatever, and they're not going to think about it. They're just going to, you know, pull out their gun and shoot them, right? So that was very brave of them, and it seems like, you know, like in the video, like they were stopped at a traffic light, and then the Rebel TV guy just got out of the car and just ran out and got into like the other Rebel TV's car, but the driver noticed him, get out, and so like the driver, if I remember right, he's like looking right at him and stuff, and I don't know, like he talked about like why he got out. I wasn't exactly sure about that. It seems like he was saying that it was just too hot in there, or that the driver was actually farting in there, and he couldn't stand like the heat or the smell of his farts, which is funny. Or maybe he just got scared at some point, right? Because there's sort of a danger point at some point. But that was sort of an interesting social experiment too, right? So yeah. Um, yeah, this stuff is really good. As you can see, I like it. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna end the video blog here. I think it's a good time to end it. So I just wanted to say, like I usually do, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for watching all of my YouTube videos, and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. So make sure that you click on that subscribe button so that you know whenever I post a new video, you can interact with me, all that good stuff, right? Because that's what motivates me to make more videos, right? I have to see that I'm getting more views or getting more subscribers, right? So subscribe, right? So yeah, basically that's it. Peace out.